with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
All right, welcome into the NOWCAST on this Wednesday morning. I'm Mark Salday. We're going to check some of the stories we're following here at Erie News Now. After more than a year's worth of virtual learning, middle school, high school students in the Erie School District, they are making their way back into their classrooms today. Erie News Now's Molly Samora has a closer look.
I can't even tell you how excited I am to have students back in the classroom. It's been a long time waiting.
Sixth grade teacher Gina Sandberg tells me she's thrilled to finally meet her students in person today. Although she has had to change a few ways she teaches, she can't wait to engage with her students.
Some pom-poms. I do a lot of jumping, clapping, all that goofy stuff just to have some fun.
Strong Vincent Middle School principal Andrea Glowstein tells me about 55% of their students will return to in-person classes. And they've been working hard to get the school ready for those students.
It's been difficult. As you can see behind me, we've had to move a lot of furniture. We've had to rearrange the way that we would normally be doing things in a normal year. Our lunch tables are gone. We've had to swap them out for smaller tables and desks. So logistically, the physical building, getting it ready has been a bit of a challenge. We're confident that we're ready to roll.
This is our Molly Samora reporting there. We have some more visual evidence this morning of the emotional toll that growing crisis at the southern U.S. border is having on some of those unaccompanied migrant children currently being held at those Border Patrol facilities down south. The Border Patrol agency actually released this video of a 10-year-old boy found alone in a field after he says he was left behind by the group he was traveling with. Through some tears, this little guy told agents he was afraid of being kidnapped. The Border Patrol agency is reportedly now working to turn this child over to the Department of Health and Human Services. Of course, it all comes amid that influx of children entering the U.S. alone. It's basically coincided with President Biden taking over down in Washington. Well, if one local businessman's plan becomes reality, we could start to see some of those unaccompanied migrant children make their way into northwestern Pennsylvania. Erie businessman Glenn Renaud owns a dormitory on Oliver Road. It used to be part of the Family First complex in Summit Township. Renaud says that dorm's got plenty of open beds, potentially for some of those kids crammed into those small rooms down at the Mexican border. Renaud now offering up this space as an emergency migrant shelter to the Department of Health and Human Services, but there's just no word yet on exactly how this could all play out, how many children could eventually be brought into Northwest PA. And we asked some of our viewers how they feel about this one. Most say they believe that border situation is a problem, but they're basically divided on how to solve it. Here's our Haley Potter.
Migrants have been arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border in record numbers this year, and the Biden administration has struggled to house the growing number of children arriving without a parent, which has left the kids stuck in these jail-like border facilities.
They are alone and they don't have parents.
While many feel the situation is mortifying, there are mixed reactions about allowing potentially hundreds of unaccompanied children to come here to Erie.
If there's anything that the Erie community can do to help out with the kids, I'm all for that.
David Markowitz has a young daughter of his own, so this hits him pretty close to home.
It would hurt me, to see if, my kid's off somewhere. I feel as long as they're, being taken care of, as children should be, I don't, really see a problem with it.
And he isn't alone. I spoke to some others who think these children are better off here in Erie.
This is a good city to live in, and I feel like it's a better, situation than what they were in.
We're used to having immigrants here. We're a city that takes the immigrants that come to this country. So I think it's a good thing, and I'm okay with it. And if it's a possibility that other children could be saved and could be taken care of, why not? They're human beings just like everybody else.
Not everyone views this as a positive opportunity, though. Some people are saying we should be helping people here on our own streets before we open our arms to others.
We got homeless vets sleeping on park benches. Let them go to that place and live. I think it's time for us to start worrying about ourselves, what's going on in our own country, before we worry about what's going on in other countries.
Tracy Battaglia thinks allowing kids to come here is a step in the wrong direction.
Trump did all the hard work. He took all the slack for everything and stopped everything, and I think we're going backwards.
She would rather see these immigrant children reunite with their families than come here to Erie.
I feel bad for the children. People are just dropping their children over the wall, but I feel that they should be sent back.
Haley Potter, Erie News Now.
Well, some new details this morning on the ongoing troubles for Florida Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz. According to a report in the New York Times this morning, Gaetz asked then-President Trump for a preemptive blanket pardon during the final weeks of Trump's presidency. The New York Times reporting that Gaetz' request was viewed by the White House as a non-starter, ultimately not granted. The effort, though, is leading to fresh criticism of Gaetz after it became public that the Justice Department's investigating him for sex trafficking and prostitution allegations. A spokesperson for Gaetz denies that the pardon request was related to that ongoing investigation. Pennsylvania is on a list of just 5 states that are currently seeing nearly half of all the country's new COVID-19 cases. This is according to the data from Johns Hopkins University. Pennsylvania on that list with New York, Michigan, Florida, and New Jersey. Those 5 states home to 44% of all of America's new COVID-19 cases, while those states account for just 22% of the U.S. population. It is prompting some experts and even elected officials to ask President Biden's administration to ship extra vaccine doses into those 5 states. So far, the White House, though, showing no signs of shifting its vaccine policy. All right, meteorologist David Walter checking out the conditions outside today, and looks like things are already warming up.
Yeah, it's quite a delightful day. We are expecting temperatures to work their way pretty close to 70 degrees for the lakeshore. We'll have a bit more of a lake wind for today, but it's going to be a very nice breeze overall. 60 degrees right now in Erie, and you can see through the day we got green bars. We did have a few showers down there in Crawford County, but right now it is on the dry side. Zoom this camera in a little bit because I've noticed some boats going on by. You can actually see the wake from that boat that just disappeared off the screen there. So folks, getting out there, enjoying a little fishing. If you're going to Presque Isle today, maybe enjoying some Sarahs or just taking a little hike down to the beach. It's going to be a beautiful day overall. We continue with more of that sunshine out there, and we've got those temperatures in the lower 60s. Notice that north wind right now at just 5 miles per hour. Temperatures in the 60s in Erie as well as Meadville. You guys are going for middle 70s today, 62 in Titusville, and also already well into the 60s out there towards Bradford. Here are a couple of those showers that did pop up this morning, passing by Meadville down there towards Cochranton, just a stray shower, even into parts of Venango County or in and around Oil City. You guys got a little wet, so a little bit of wet pavement out there, but that's basically it. That's all we're expecting for today. Those high clouds continue to stream on in. We'll keep the forecast nice and dry as we venture into the day on a Thursday, although late in the day as we get towards the evening hours, especially past midnight, that's when we've got a couple of showers, but Futurecast not bringing us a whole lot. We certainly do have those rain chances in the extended outlook. We'll talk about that in just a little moment, but for today, temperatures getting close to that 70-degree mark. You can see the warmer stuff into Waterford, Edinburgh, as well as Union City. You probably have to crank up the AC just a little bit this afternoon as you're heading to the grocery store, if you're running some errands today. Middle 70s into Crawford County from Conneaut Lake to Lionsville, even out into Titusville, New Richmond, middle 70s for you. And we're also in the middle 70s in Warren County. Some spots close to 80 degrees for your Thursday. We'll talk about that and those rain chances as we get into part of the weekend. That's coming up in just a moment.
All right, move over. N95 seems there's a new face mask option on the way, and this apparently comes from the mind of pop music star will.i.am. Question is, are you willing to spend $300 on it? And let me just say, I've got a feeling your answer may be no. Yeah, I went there on all fronts. The Black Eyed Peas band member announcing he's teaming up with Honeywell to launch this super mask. Check this out. It's got a ton of bells and whistles. The list includes dual 3-speed fans, inside the mask. Air filters. It's Bluetooth connected. It's got LED glow lights, they say. And that microphone. The high-tech face gear yet to be officially approved by the FDA, but they've given it its emergency use authorization. This high-tech face mask set to officially be released tomorrow. All right, check out baseball's version of the basketball trick shot, or maybe a golf hole-in-one. Cardinals outfielder Tyler O'Neill managing to destroy some pretty high-priced gear with this oh-so-accurate foul ball during last night's Cardinals game. Shattered the lens of the home plate camera. They say that lens all by itself going to cost about $15,000 to replace. Although it looks like the camera was somewhat still working, amazingly, despite all of that damage. Nailed it. All right, David's got that last check of the forecast. We know it's a goodie for today.
Yeah, some smashing video there. As we look ahead in our forecast today, we got 70 degrees, 78 on Thursday. We're keeping things pretty quiet out there. And you can see as we go towards the weekend, temperatures coming down just a little bit. It will be on the breezy side. We've got a couple of those scattered showers out there, but temperatures right back up into the 70s as we get into your Saturday. And you'll notice we're coming back down a little bit on Sunday, and then into next week. We see some cooler weather overall. It's a cold front coming through on Sunday. That will bring us some rain for the second half of the weekend. But boy, we've got some more real warm stuff as we go over the next couple of days.
And we've got 30 minutes of news headed your way at noon. That is on WSEE with our Amanda Post. We'll be back on Facebook Live about the same time tomorrow, 5 a.m. That's your start time for the Thursday edition of Erie News Now Sunrise. We'll see you then.